So today we're gonna talk about how ethereum mining works. So people, many new people that come into crypto, right? They they feel that the main purpose of mining is to generate ethers in a way that doesn't require someone to hand it out. Which is true, of course, like since it's a decentralized platform and everybody just mines their own ethers. So Ethereum tokens are created through the process of mining at a rate of 5 ether per mined block. But mining also has another role as well. So usually in this current day and age, right? So banks are the one in charge of keeping accurate records of transactions. Um, they ensure that the money isn't like created from thin air, and users don't cheat and spend their money more than once, which is like, in other words, double spending. Yeah. So blockchains are created so that they prevent this from happening. In a sense that since it's more of a record of transactions. They ensure that the money isn't um, spent twice in a sense, or maybe like every single cent is accounted for, uh, rather than just someone else taking care of that specific someone else taking care of that transaction for you. Okay, so although it's a trustless and or a system that doesn't require much trust, even though you do not know the person and the person could be across the world. Um, okay, so someone still needs to guarantee that it can be trusted. Like, even though you just say, it's not like I can say something. I can say that the transaction has been made, but obviously humans do lie. Hi Zandra. So for those who just joined, right, I'm just talking about how Ethereum mining works. So since like humans can lie, you still need people to like verify these transaction records to have better to ensure that no one actually just cheats the system. Okay, so mining is one innovation that makes decentralized record keeping possible. Miners come to consensus about the transaction history while preventing fraud. Sorry, an interesting problem that hasn't been solved in decentralized currency before proof of work blockchains. So before these blockchains actually were made, right, there were problems with banks had a problem of people double spending their money. So for example, that same 100 USD will be used twice on different items. So that's what you call double spending. Hi Christian. So um, blockchains solve this, right? Since as it's a public ledger, so all the transactions are kept in that ledger, and every single person or every single node in the system has access to it, so that whether it's they know who sent what, and yeah, so they verify this information, of course. Many people actually verify that information since everyone can see what is happening, what transaction is happening. So Ethereum currently is looking into other methods of coming to consensus about how true that latest blockchain is, but mining is the one that currently like, holds the whole platform together. So mining is the one that creates this trust among strangers. So now, how mining works? Ethereum's mining process is almost the same as Bitcoin's. So, like Bitcoin, every block of transaction, miners use computers to repeatedly and very quickly guess answers to a cryptic puzzle, and until like one of them solves it. So, the miners will run the block's unique hidden metadata, which includes timestamps and the software version through a hash function, which will return a fixed length, which is 64 characters, a scrambled string of numbers and letters that looks completely random, only changing the nonce value, which impacts the resulting hash value. So to me, it's like, okay, once you solve that puzzle, you will gain that blockchain's cryptocurrency. Um, yeah. So if the miner finds a hash that matches the current target, the miner will be awarded ether and broadcast the block across the network for each node to validate and add to their own copy of the ledger. So basically, if someone solves that 64 character cryptic hash, that person will gain like that cryptocurrency, and then also announce to everybody and say, oh, okay, I did it. So everybody will stop work on that block and then carry on to the next one, and and this process will constantly repeat. It's very secure, because there's no way to fake that you actually did. It's very hard to fake that you did the work, and then also come away with the correct puzzle answer or that cryptic hash answer. That's why this puzzle solving method is called the proof of work method. So, of course, solving this cryptic hash, right, takes time. Um, while However, if you just announce like the fact that you have actually the solved the cryptic hash, it takes almost no time at all, because you basically just announce it to people, and then they can just easily say, okay, I know that you've completed this hash. Okay, I'm just gonna move on to the next one. So around every 12 to 15 seconds, right, a miner finds a block. If miners start to solve the puzzles more quickly or slowly than this, the algorithm automatically readjusts the difficulty of the problem so that miners bring back to the roughly 12-second solution time. Do you have any better idea on like what I can stream? Like maybe if you want me to stream some games or anything. Anything? So for those that entered, it's me talking about how Ethereum mining works. Okay, I'm just show you the article I'm reading. Oops. So basically every 12 or 15 seconds, right, a miner finds a block, and if miners start to solve the puzzles more quickly or slowly than this, the algorithm automatically readjusts the difficulty of the problem so that miners spring back to roughly the 12-second solution time. So basically this is like a computer program that basically understands that people are having difficulty solving the puzzle, and then just basically helps them by giving them an easier one to solve. So the miners randomly earn this ether, and their profitability depends on luck and the amount of computing power they devote to it. The specific proof of work algorithm that Ethereum uses is called Ethash, designed to require more memory to make it harder to mine using expensive ASICs, which is basically a specialized mining chip that is the only profitable way of mining Bitcoin. So in a sense, Ethash has succeeded in that purpose, since dedicated specialized mining chips, right, aren't available to mine Ethereum yet. Furthermore, since Ethereum aims to transition from proof of work mining to proof of stake, buying an specialized mining chip might not be a smart option, since it likely won't prove useful for long. So with the proof of stake shift, right, that they plan to do, Ethereum will not need miners. Developers plan to ditch proof of work, the algorithm that the network currently uses to determine which transactions are valid and protect it from tampering, in favor of proof of stake, where the network is secure by the owners of tokens. If and when the algorithm is rolled out, proof of stake could be means for achieving distributed consensus that uses fewer resources. So for now, Ethereum requires you to use Ether to reach that consensus. So with proof of stake, right, you don't need the Ether and you don't need as much anymore. Yeah. So next, on how to mine Ethereum. So first of all, you need to choose like your mining hardware. You'll need a special computer hardware to dedicate which is dedicated to full-time mining. So there are two types of mining hardware: CPUs and GPUs. GPUs boast a higher hash rate, meaning they can guess puzzle answers more quickly, and at time of writing, which is let me check. Starting of 2018, GPUs are the only option for Ether miners. So setting up your GPU is a complex task. You can browse plenty of advice about which ones are the most profitable based on the hash rate, performance, power consumption, and the initial expense of the card. So you'll probably want to set up a specialized mining rig which composed of multiple GPUs. So if you want to know like what a GPU is, it's basically like your graphics card in your computer, and your CPU is basically the brains of your computer. So the better CPU, the faster things are loaded. So mining profitability calculators show the likely amount of ether you'll earn at a given hash rate and whether the ether is enough when set against setup and electricity costs to make a profit. So mining profitability calculators are programs that you can find on the internet, right? Where you can key in like what hardware you have, where you live, so they can calculate like the average cost of electricity in your area, and then also how much ethereum you can, or maybe like cryptocurrency that you can mine, so that you get a rough idea to know whether you're earning money or you're just like wasting money trying to mine cryptocurrencies. So after getting a rig, or basically a system that allows you to mine, you need to install a software, which is like a mining software. So if you are a programmer, right, you can install like certain apps which is written in scripting language. Of course there are also like many different other softwares for you. So once you install this software, your computer becomes a node which has access to that cryptocurrency's network. So since we're talking about Ethereum, just gonna say it's gonna be connected to the Ethereum network. In addition to just mining Ether, right, it also provides an interface for deploying your own smart contracts and sending transactions using the command line. So next, you can also test your smart contracts on your own private network or decentralized applications. So mining on a test network doesn't require any fancy hardware, just a regular home computer with the mining software installed. However, like if you mine those ether while in this test software, right, it doesn't like bring you any money. Yeah, okay, so now if you want to mine ether, right, an application will be ETH miner. It's like ETH, like this one, ETHMINER, and then you'll be part of the network. So basically what you need to do in installing this application is just to click here for the client, and also like click here for like the GPU mining stuff, and then like there are instructions here to teach you on how you can start as well. So basically now, since big corporations, right, are joining in this mining business, it's very unlikely that you're gonna mine ether on your own. So there's a method whereby miners pool together their computational power into mining pools to improve their chances of solving the cryptographic puzzles and earning ether, which will then be split in proportion to how much power each miner contributed. So let's say you have like a really good mining rig, right, and like multiple, and then you're in a pool with maybe just a really basic, you're in a pool with people with really basic hardware. So the chances of you getting more of the ether mine, right, is quite high, since you manage to contribute a lot more stuff to the table. So to sign up, so mining pools, right, have different payout structures. That is one thing to note. And also, mining pools will typically have a sign up process on your website so that you can connect to the pool and start mining. However, there are advices around the internet, right, that shows that mining or cryptocurrency in general can change overnight. So what you know now may be totally useless like the next year or something, or maybe like tomorrow. That's how drastic it is. And then some mining pools may just will just die out, and maybe some will suddenly mine a lot of ether. So it's very wise to make sure that you understand like what is changing around this industry. Yeah. So I think that will be all for today. Thank you for tuning in.